Hello you devils, and welcome back to Crafting Concepts, the new series with the first episode that did ever so well. A smash hit. And so, what on earth are we going to be making today then? Well, it's a bit tricky because the actual highest rated comment here, with 29 likes by Young Blood, was a kind of targeted spotlight turret kind of thing. So if people walk past your base in the middle of the night, bang, this thing would snap to them and illuminate them for all to see, which is a wonderful idea, but in terms of modelling and what I want to do with this series, really the item itself hasn't changed much. It's just the stock searchlight, isn't it? But with a couple of gubbins screwed onto the side of it. And it wouldn't be that different. It wouldn't be different enough to be justifying rehashing a model, basically. I didn't want to do that. But nevertheless, it's a bloody brilliant idea, Youngblood, and so I wanted to give you your credit here anyway. So, what are we actually going to build then? Well, this comes from the second highest rated comment, which was from HunterFox1677. And he says, LOLOUT Rust needs a level 1 rifle, like a slingshot, a single shot bolty, but not as good, instead of a bolt, a water valve. This sounded enormously fun, and my mind just started exploding with different ideas and how are we going to make this thing look really budget. And I was actually just talking on my Discord recently with a chap, and he was saying that Rust keeps adding these new and factory-looking weapons, you know, like the L96 is coming out now. And what it needs is some more really rusty weapons, you know, stuff that feels handmade, like, you know, the AK with the shovel end on as its stock, and, you know, the Oka pistol, that kind of stuff that's really, you know, just mashed together by some crazy Rust scientist, and bingo, there you go, there's a weapon. So that is exactly what we're going to do. LOLOUT, I hear you ask. Why do you record these things so bloody late at night, so you have to have your huge lights on to illuminate the entire area? Good question, and I'm not quite sure. I'm nocturnal, I suppose, and I'm just going to show you my initial concept drawing, because I think that'll be interesting to see. So this is what I came up with, and it, as you can see, if you can see it there, it incorporates a baseball bat, because I thought that would be just rusty and quite cool. So it's got a baseball bat here, and then we have a water pipe here with a valve coming off the side. We have 2 nails for sights, a bit of wood crudely cut into it as a handle, and then a trigger would be a nail as well. And the idea is this is a single shot weapon, so the bolt here is a water valve, and you pull that back to then insert another shell. So I'm just going to do a quick cross section here so you can kind of see what I'm thinking. You have the barrel like that, extended that way a little bit, and then on the internals, this is where everything will happen. So obviously you've got your water pipe here, as you can see, and inside that's where you'd insert your bullet, like that, once this is pulled back, and then it just is a firing pin here which is connected to the trigger, which then shoots the bloody thing. Now obviously this time I don't have any of these things to show you. My idea, sorry about that. I don't have any of these things to show you. I don't have a baseball bat because I'm English. I don't have a water pipe because I'm not a plumber. I don't have a water valve for the very same reason. I do have nails, but what am I going to put them into? Fuck all. Yeah, so it's no good. So what I'm going to do is just jump now straight into the modelling section. So, fingers crossed. Whoa. Hold on a minute there, chap. I'm not going to leave you with that shitty demonstration. I'm going to show you an even shittier one. So, you might be saying to yourself, all these are just randomly assorted items, LOLOUT. What do they mean? Well, in the mind of a madman, they fit together to form kind of loosely what I'm after replicating. Fuck. Sorry about that. That's unprofessional. And welcome back to everyone's favourite, the modelling portion of the video, which gives me ample time to gabble, and if you know anything about me, you know I absolutely love a good gabble. Now, I'm also going to be showing the texturing portion in this video as well, due to comments on the last episode saying they'd really like to see that, and I was amazed that people are actually that interested in this kind of stuff, so it does warm the heart a little bit. This space of time does really, however, allow me to actually tell you a bit more about what this weapon is, how it could be used, why it's useful, and of course I'm basing a lot of this on the original comment, which was incredibly detailed as to how this thing could be constructed. I hope you'll allow me some artistic liberty, Hunter Fox, like the whole using a baseball bat instead of, I think you just kind of thought it would be a strung together bolt action kind of body. My theory with this is that, you know, this is a shaped wooden bat. Yeah, and you know, it's very easy to cut into wood, to mill into wood, to make holes in wood. That's quite an easy thing to do. So if you're really struggling and clutching at straws, trying to figure what on earth could I use to make a body of a weapon out of, well, a baseball bat wouldn't be a bad idea. It's kind of got a very uncomfortable but natural stock that would sit into your shoulder. I'm not saying this to be a comfort to shoot at all. It would fucking hurt like a bitch to actually shoot this thing. But you get the idea. It works. It makes sense from that perspective. And of course, you know, just water pipes that are drilled in and shoved into this thing, and it just somehow ends up working. You saw me there actually taking quite close detail in making sure the bolt itself was able to slide fully back into the weapon. So in the reload animation, the character could actually pull the bolt back and load a new round into the chamber. If not, it's a pretty useless weapon, isn't it? But yeah, currently I'm modelling the actual water valve itself, which I thought was a brilliant idea. It's so rusty that, you know, you just find this thing lying around on the side of the road and you think, you know what, that could be the bolt of my gun. And oh look, there's a pipe there, that could be the barrel of my gun. And there's a shitty old baseball bat, that could work as the body. It just feels so strung together, ham-fisted, and just embodies what I love about Rust and the DIY element of that. I had a lot of fun making this, if you can't tell already. It's funny, you are watching I don't know actually how many hours I worked on this bloody thing. A lot of hours condensed now at a ridiculous percent speed increase. And actually just sitting here and watching it, it's so riveting to see the mistakes I made and actually watching how I fixed them. Because when you're doing this kind of stuff, you're fixing your own mistakes 90% of the time. And so you forget about half of them, but actually watching it back, you can learn something about yourself, and I don't know, it's just interesting to be self-reflective that way. Now, Hunter Fox theorised that this weapon would cost around 250 wood, 100 metal frags, a pipe, and a level 1 workbench to craft. And I think that's pretty fair for what it is. He did also say that this weapon should have its own round, its own unique bullet, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily necessary. That's strange, isn't it? Necessarily necessary. I don't know if it is. It could easily, you know, work with just a standard pistol round or maybe a handmade shell. But maybe a version on the handmade shell might be good, like a handmade rifle round, something like that. So a similar idea. It's, you know, really strung together. I might make one. Who knows? A really strung together bullet that is kind of designed for this weapon, and maybe some more lower tier weapons if any more get added. And we have already moved on to the texturing phase, where you get to see even more time condensed into a very quick montage. Now, initially I wanted the bat to be a kind of, you know, the steel versions, I think they're aluminium actually, aluminium baseball bat, and I thought that would be a bit easier to work with, but thematically and from a design perspective, it just didn't make as much sense. An aluminium bat, you could see people really wanting to grab them when the apocalypse happened, you know, really wanting something steel, something metal and strong. A wooden bat, maybe not, if it's a bit shit and in bad condition like this one is. You can see the wood's flaking off it, it's got, you know, chunks missing, scratches all over it. It's a well-used bit of kit, but it suits our player's purpose, which is to mill it out and fill it with a barrel. Plus, I think artistically the contrast of the wood to the metal water pipe is just a little bit more stark. I did experiment with making it a metal bat, but it just didn't look as good, so I did opt for the wood 100% in the end, and I'm happy I did, because it does look fantastic. You've seen here at the end as well, I've done another valve on the end, as if this is just literally a piece of piping that he shoved in there and hoped for the best. So now I'm doing the welds of course, everything is crude, so all these welds I've made, you know, incredibly obvious to be seen, because I just think they would be. You know, if it does the job, that's all that matters, you know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That being said, a weapon like this should probably have very low durability. You know, it's not something you could rely on. It's not all reliable. It's a kind of last resort. I'm a little bit better armed than you, and I could maybe fend someone off kind of weapon. I mean, the trigger's made out of a bloody nail. The sights are both rusty nails, like just jabbed into the wood. Initially, I wanted to make the sights kind of bent-looking nails. I experimented with that, but it does have to function as a weapon. And I kept reminding myself of that. So if you have bent nails as your sight, it gets very confusing very fast. So I had to keep them kind of 90 degrees straight. But hey, if you were in the apocalypse, you would use your best nails for your sights, wouldn't you? For that exact reason. So there we are. It's accurate. We're nearing the end of this process now. I'm just adding a little decal here, a little Slugger. I just thought it'd be a nice little callback to the past days before everything went wrong, whatever happened. And yeah, so that was the full modelling and texturing of this baby, and here's what the final result looked like. So what do you think? Isn't that just the most strung together, ham-fisted thing you've ever seen in your life? I absolutely love how it turned out. It's funny how you can still just about get that it's a gun, even though you know what it's made up of. And of course guys, just like the last video, look down in the description, go and check this thing out in 3D for yourself. I've put annotations on this one, so if you click them you can go get a close-up view of different angles and things like that. And yeah, I'm just really chuffed with how it came out. I love it to bits. To me, this really does fit in Rust. It looks just like something you could picture a noob or a naked actually clinging onto with their last breath. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Of course, if you want to see more of this stuff, let me know, because I'm really enjoying it. And lastly, make sure you leave your own ideas down below and vote on your favourites. Give them a thumbs up, and the best, highest rated one I will make in the next episode of Crafting Concepts. Thank you all very much for watching, and stay bloody well coy.